Are you guys tired about hearing about Godzilla? Well, I'm not tired about talking about it. So, because I am convinced and I want people to go check out this movie, no matter how you feel about it, because honestly, I still think that they got Godzilla right and they did a lot of good things with this movie, enough good things to justify going seeing it. Because to me, the monster stuff outweighs the bad a lot. But yeah, overall, I'm gonna talk about the box office and why it's like underwhelming slash, a little worrisome. Not for the next movie, for just the MonsterVerse in general, right? So WB, if you don't know, they're obviously like the production studio, whatever. They hold the rights for Godzilla, and I think they're also the rights holders for DC. So they and a lot of other stuff. They own a lot of great stuff too. However, it is a little underwhelming because the projections for Godzilla 2 has a budget of $200 million, I believe was the budget. That's not including the marketing campaign for it, which has been on full force by either like O'Shea Jackson Jr. like stuff with, or the Godzilla suit, or the like Godzilla head on top of like one of the theaters, like spreading on fire. The advertisements and stuff are out of control on it and amazing. So that's probably a lot. Like I would say at least 50 to 100 million right there. So you're looking at about a $300 million movie pretty much right now, like around that. And you pretty much need to, this movie needs to make roughly worldwide at least 600 to 700 million to break even slash profit. Now, I believe comparatively, I'll put them up here. There was like for Kong and Godzilla 1 from 2014. Godzilla from 2014, I believe, made like 90 something million dollars opening weekend. And I think Kong made probably around 60 something million opening weekend. And they both went on to make around 550 to 600 million total worldwide. So there is a chance King of the Monsters can get there, but here's the difference. Back when those movies came out, I don't believe there was any competition like there was these past 2 months. And why I think, honestly, Godzilla probably should have stayed in the oven, probably for another couple months, probably till maybe August or in July. And I want to say this because it is in a rough spot. You have Endgame that came out April 26th, and it's still trucking along. Because I'm looking at I have probably a screenshot or whatever, but I'm looking at the current as of today from the on June 2nd. I'm looking at the stuff from Box Office Mojo that gives me the top 10 or whatever money's made, and Avengers Endgame is still number 6 after being out for over a month with $7.8 million and still in 3,000 theaters. Then you have John Wick, which is a big movie and a really great movie too, that came out like 2-3 weeks after Avengers. And then you have this week that came out with Godzilla, Rocketman. Not as big of a blockbuster, but it is a really good movie, I'm hearing. So it's also gonna take from that. So you have Rocketman, you have John Wick, Avengers. You also have Ma, which is I haven't seen it yet, but I'm hearing some decent things about it, and I'll probably go check it out as well. It's another horror movie, comes out, so if you want to see horror movies too. And then you have the biggest one that's pretty much like the biggest competitor slash the biggest one that's in the way of Godzilla right now is Aladdin. Aladdin came out last weekend or 2 weeks ago. Yeah, this is the second weekend. It says it right here, and it has a higher budget than Godzilla, funny enough. But that's the biggest competitor because you have Aladdin, Rocketman, Ma, John Wick, Avengers, Brightburn. You even have Detective Pikachu a little bit. You have all these movies. That's a lot of different fans, a lot of different people gonna go watch a movie, and that it's like pretty much is, you know what it is. Also, there's everything for every type of like moviegoer. There is Aladdin, which is, even though it's pretty much mixed reviews, it is still Aladdin, and Disney has that magic. You know, it's just a Disney property. People are gonna go check it out, and especially as famous as Aladdin. While I do think that the like remaking classic stories is kind of dumb in my opinion, because you have the original movies already, so it's like, why are you just gonna make it a live action version? I did hear good things about it. I haven't checked it out personally myself, but I did hear that You know, the Genie did great, Will Smith did great, so I'm excited if I ever go check it out to go see it. But then here's the thing too. Godzilla doesn't even have enough to even go on to next week, because you know what comes out next week, or as of the date of this recording, at the end of the week? X-Men, Dark Phoenix. Even if people think that movie looks bad, I think I'm kind of in the middle where I'm like, I don't know. I think they're probably changing it because now that MCU owns Fox and all that, or Disney owns Fox and all that, so maybe they're trying to like wrap up this story from, you know, Fox's timeline and, you know, start a new one in the MCU. You have X-Men, which is without a doubt still a superhero movie that is still gonna rake in majority of everything next weekend, more than likely. It's probably gonna slap Godzilla up probably to like number 2 or 3, probably number 3, because I think people are still gonna be going to go see Aladdin, because Aladdin is a family orientated movie. It's not giant monsters fighting. And though I think the critics slamming for Godzilla, like the mix pretty much like a 40%, 39%, I think that hurt Godzilla. I would probably say no, not really, because Aladdin, a movie being as mixed as it is, it's not even fresh on the tomato meter, I don't think, as of this recording. It's still getting a lot of money. It made 42 million this weekend, and Godzilla made 49 million. These are the estimates, right, for the end of the week. It could make more. It could make more, and it could make less. Now, I'm just saying this, still reporting on it, because I do want to get my thoughts on this, and you know, and it's kind of scary. But okay, so the bigger question is, what about overseas? What about Japan, or, you know, China, whatever? This movie has to do exceptionally well in China or like the bigger countries. And I think it's gonna do well in Japan, because I believe I was hearing some things about the screenings over there that people are like chanting the Mothra theme and stuff like that over there in Japan, because it's like I said in my review, it's a love letter to the Toho Godzilla films. So I think a lot of the outside people, like outside the US, Eastern audiences are probably gonna love this movie, and are probably gonna like this movie a lot more than the US Western audience. And I think that's where the majority of the money is gonna be made for Godzilla, and I hope that's the case, and I hope it keeps raking in the money to at least break even. Actually, correction, it says here a court estimate projection for the budget was around 170 million. Still around 200-250 million total with advertisements and all that. You would probably get around that number. So overall, I'm like a little stunned, because I'm surprised it didn't make at least like 70 million. But that's a testament to where it's put. It is in a rough spot. They should have moved this movie at least a couple months down to July. They probably had enough confidence to think maybe it's Godzilla, people are gonna like go watch this movie. And I urge all of you, if you're fans or you just want to check it out for yourself and give your own opinion, whether you hate it, love it, I don't care, go watch it, support it, because the thing is, the file, and this is where I was gonna get to, regardless, at the end of the day, we're still gonna get Godzilla vs. Kong. Wanna know why? Because that movie is filmed and pretty much done. They're in post-production. That movie comes out next year. It's not 2, it's not 5, it's not 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now like this one was. This is just next year. So the movie's already done filming, and now it's just post-production. So yeah, which is I don't know. So hopefully that movie gets received critically well, because I think that'll boost it a little bit, and hopefully make some money. But we'll see. This is just the first weekend estimate of like 49, 50 something million, probably, you know, accurate numbers by tomorrow, Monday, June 3rd. But these are my thoughts. I think it's a little underwhelming-ish, because I think they were projecting it to be like 55 million around there. So yeah, if Monday happens and the numbers are completely wrong, now you will not see this video. But if not, if it stays around the same, you'll see this video with my thoughts on it. So I just think Godzilla is a victim of poor timing and being sandwiched between so many big titled movies. Even if they're not blockbusters, Aladdin is a big name. John Wick is a massive name. Avengers, we all know the name. Rocketman, a lot of music fans, a lot of music fans. So and it's getting rave reviews, so I want to see it myself. So yeah, with all that being said, what did you guys think of Godzilla? If you've seen it, do you think Godzilla's gonna push through and make its money back? Let me know that below in the comment section, and yeah, let's talk about it. So remember, it is a budget of 170 million, roughly 200 million, and probably with marketing and all that around 250, 270 million. So to to break even and to make money, they need to make around $500+ million overall in their run to be a success. And remember, everything in cinema, everything in art or whatever, or just media, you vote with your money. So if you guys go and support this movie, they'll more than likely, they'll keep making them. So, and I think they should keep making kaiju movies. I don't think the Western audiences should not have that privilege. I know we have Pacific Rim, but it's one of those things where it's like, I don't think the Western audience is too much like a lot of Godzilla stuff, or not Godzilla, but just kaiju, like Japanese like culture things. Because believe it or not, even though anime and all that is huge over here and Japanese culture, it's still a niche pocket, if that makes sense. Sure, it's popular, but we're not that big, so it's not that big of an audience. Like, it's not the entire half of the US that's gonna go watch this movie, or whatever. So regardless, let me know down below what you thought. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new, share the video if you enjoyed, and I hope you all have a great night. Follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and my Snapchat. See you guys. Bye.